Well, all great things happen in China. Am I right? China destroys their own stocks listed on American markets. That happened last summer. Now they are destroying their property sector, which accounts for 25% of their GDP, their gross domestic product. We are getting startling new announcements out of China that things are not getting better, they are getting much worse. Why am I saying this to you guys? If you are invested in AMC, which I'm sure you are here on this channel, this is going to cause a major liquidity crunch. But if you are not invested in AMC per se, if you're just invested in the marketplace, this is going to be something I hope you guys pay very close attention to, because you can make a ton of money from this. But let's save the BS. Let's get straight into this video. Do me a favor, tap, tickle, touch, or smash the like button for me. My OGs know what I'm talking about. I used to say that in every single video. So, all right, let's start off with what came out December 14th, because you have to know some context around this to understand how this is rapidly progressing. This is something that is going a lot faster than I even thought possible. When you're talking about a whole sector of the economy, a 25% chunk of an economy, of China's economy, the real estate sector, you don't imagine it crumbling in just months' time, but that's what we are seeing right now. So this article is from December 14, 2021. China home market slump persists as prices, sales fall. So essentially, if you take a look at this, it says China's property industry slump persists in November as home prices fell for a third month and sales dropped, hurting growth in the world's second largest economy. Not good for your folks over there in China. If we do take a look at some new announcements as of today, guys, January 7th, China urges banks to boost property lending on default fears. You have to actually read the first paragraph, or the first two paragraphs on this, to get a feel of how desperate their situation is. China called on banks to boost real estate lending in the first quarter and ease a key debt restriction for developers, a sign that authorities are becoming increasingly concerned about the industry's liquidity crisis. In previously unreported window guidance issued last month, regulators told banks to step up lending to developers after at least two quarters of consecutive declines. People familiar with the matter said, asking not to be identified because discussing private information. At the same time, borrowing by major property firms used to fund mergers and acquisitions will no longer be counted towards the 3 red lines metrics that limit debt, said the people. So the same thing that got them into this situation, they are doing, right? By creating all this debt, by not even wanting to report the debt. That's why I personally can't invest in China. You never know what kind of shady shit's going on. But they are desperate. This is their last ditch attempt to save their property sector. And unfortunately, you don't fix a problem with the same thing that caused the problem to begin with. And the fact of just going from December 14th now to January, or ultimately, the first slump in real estate prices was in September. It's escalating at a much faster pace than I had even thought. So that is not good for China. It's not good for the overall markets as well, because what's going to happen in China is going to affect our markets. But that is key for AMC, because we need to see that liquidity being crunched and being squeezed. Even though most hedge funds are probably not invested in Evergrande, I will be the first to tell you, most hedge funds, by and large, they wouldn't take a huge financial hit directly related to Evergrande. But if Evergrande fails, and when they fail, I should say, and go bankrupt, and we start to see basically a recession in China because their real estate sector accounts for so much of their economy, that's going to be felt in American markets. Like it or not, hate it or love it, it's going to be felt in the American stock market as well. So that's why I say you can make a lot of money based off of this, hedging for the downside, just paying attention to what is happening in China. Obviously, I wouldn't go hedge crazy. I'll let you guys know when I am putting on some hedges. It's not right now, but here in the next month or two, this could really start to develop. Now, the last bit of news that we do need to go over here in this video is something that came out today at 4:49 a.m. this morning. It is titled, China's real estate problems are spreading even to once healthy developers. Shamo, one of China's healthiest real estate developers, has reportedly defaulted, a sign of how more pain is ahead for the heavily indebted industry. In quotes, the reason that the market is a bit more worried about this case compared to the other developers that fell into trouble is because Shamo is considered a relatively healthy name. That's what this economist at Naxos said in a phone interview Friday. He noted that Shamo met all three of Beijing's main requirements for developers' debt levels and said the company's struggles reflected broader pressure for business transformation in the current environment. And this is something that they actually built. And doesn't this look really cool, actually? I would love to visit it if it wasn't in China. China would probably have me killed if I went there. Probably all of us that talk shit about China. Now, it says their shares briefly plunged more than 17% on Friday after realtors reported that the property developer failed to make full repayment on a trust loan. A subsidiary of the company subsequently said in a filing it was in talks to resolve the payment. Shares closed more than 5% lower in Hong Kong, while most major developers posted gains for the day. So this is just a situation that you can't get out of, right? Look at all these property developers that are going down. Evergrande, Langung, Cynic, Kasia, Fantasia, Modern Land. I can't say that, but it's not a good situation, to say the least. And once it starts, it's like the snowball effect. There's no way to get around it, and it's all going to come crumbling down unless the government just does a huge bailout. And then, but in that sense, China would have to take on trillions of dollars in debt. So it's a lose-lose for everybody involved. If you're invested in AMC, it could be a good thing as the liquidity would be crunched. But still, if you're just invested in the markets in general, something to pay very close attention to. So that's going to be all for this update. If you guys found value out of this video, hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you guys want access to all of my trades in real time, check that out. Linked in the pinned comment down below. We have been killing it over there. We just bought a Lucid call yesterday and for $71, sold it for $235 today. It hit a high of about $260. I believe it's still going up. Check that out. Multiple other over 100% winning trades in the past 2 days by itself. So pays for itself. Enough said about that. If you guys want access to it, link down below in the pinned comment. Love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.